Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast. Before I get started with the reading, I just want to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, and just all of your positive feedback. If you are interested in receiving additional guidance from the weekly and monthly tarot forecast that I offer here on my channel, I do actually draw and upload every single day a daily oracle guidance card to my Instagram and Facebook pages. So if you're interested in receiving additional guidance, please head over and like me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram. If you are interested in receiving a private reading from me, I do actually have linked below in the description bar my website, so head over to my website and read about how I offer my private readings. And make sure that for these weekly tarot forecasts you are watching your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign to get the most insight. Some weeks you will resonate more with your sun sign, other weeks you will resonate more with your rising sign or ascendant sign, and then sometimes you might even resonate with all three, your sun, moon, and rising sign. So again, I just want to thank you guys so very much for all of your support. You guys are truly amazing. Thank you for all of the positive feedback, your likes, your shares, your comments. I do wish you all a wonderful week. Stay tuned for the reading. Hi Virgo, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of October 3rd through the 9th. This is for Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising signs. All right, Virgo, so at the bottom of the deck, I have the Four of Swords. Okay. So the Four of Swords is a healing energy. So for some Virgos, you could be healing, you could be recovering. You could be spending some time alone with the Four of Swords. You could definitely be spending some time alone, especially because we have the Hermit here as well. You could be seeking that solitude, going within, looking to your intuition when it comes to something, maybe trying to figure things out. But also the Four of Swords can come up when we're waiting. So there could be some Virgos that are waiting on something. The overall energy is the Star. So you could be waiting on some sort of wish to come true. And then for some Virgos, you certainly could be receiving a wish this week with the overall energy being the Star. So this is beautiful. This is that divine energy all around you. This is your angels, your guides around you, Virgo, leading you towards this healing for some of you. And the energy of the Star is that very optimistic energy. So I see many of you just incredibly optimistic this week. I'm definitely thinking that the glass is half full, remaining optimistic, keeping the faith when it comes to maybe your hopes, wishes, dreams, desires. Now, what's really interesting, Virgo, is we have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is certainly your energy, no matter if you're male or female. But then I happen to have the Hermit right next to the Queen of Pentacles. So I definitely see many of you going within, listening to your intuition. For many of you, you certainly could be taking a break. Definitely spending some time alone this week. Now, for some of you, you could be seeking some sort of counsel or advice from someone. This could be like a father or a grandfather or even an attorney for some Virgos. And I do see the Hermit as an enlightened soul. So this is an enlightened person. So for some Virgos, you could be becoming enlightened this week. You could be figuring something out. You could be learning something. You can see here how the Hermit is holding this lantern up to the wall, and now he's able to see this writing on the wall. So he's becoming enlightened. So I think that for many of you, you certainly could be finding something out this week. And for some of you, this is going to bring in some healing with this information that maybe you're receiving, or this enlightenment. It definitely could be bringing in a lot of healing for you, Virgo, in some way. For some Virgos, you know, you're very practical, you're very grounded, but you also could be very focused on your finances this week. And And there could be like maybe something going on that maybe there's like a legal issue for some Virgos. There could be something legal that is going on. You could be waiting on a legal decision for some Virgos. Maybe you're learning something when it comes to, for some of you, like a legal case, some sort of lawsuit or something that you have going on. You could be becoming enlightened, finding something out this week when it comes to that, and it's maybe giving you hope, or it's giving you a different perspective. Now, for some of you, justice can represent a divorce. There could be some Virgos that maybe you're getting a divorce, because I have justice sitting next to the devil. So this certainly can represent like an unhealthy marriage. For some Virgos, maybe you're spending time alone and you're making a decision to free yourself from that no longer serves you. With the devil. So all things in moderation this week, Virgo. Nothing in excess. With the energy of the devil, balance is very important with justice here. Balance is definitely needed. For some Virgos, you know, don't spend too much with this energy here. Try not to spend too much. I don't think that many of you are. I see you very balanced. Now, if there was something going on for some Virgos, there could have been something going on that maybe something happened and you thought it was unfair with this energy here. You know, this could be within the workplace. This really could be in any area of your life, Virgo. I see you healing. I see you overcoming that. Justice here could be that karmic justice coming in. But then, you know, for some other Virgos, I think that you feel restricted. I think that there's something that you want. I think that enlightenment is coming to you this week, and a lot of positive change is coming from that. I see you very optimistic, but I also think that for some Virgos, maybe, you know, you're connected to a job that is no longer serving you, or maybe, you know, you feel trapped in some way. Just for a select number of Virgos, I think that some of you feel restricted, but again, you're learning something, and I think it's giving you like a more positive outlook this week. But I think that for some of you, because you felt this restriction, or feel blocked, or feel restricted in some way, or are in like a position that you feel like you've outgrown, I see many of you very, very focused on moving forward and moving away from that, coming up with a solution here to just free yourself from whatever this is that's no longer serving you with the devil here. I do have the Queen of Swords looking back over at this devil energy. So I do feel like for many of you, this is you in the mind. This is that very focused, logical energy. And I think that you're planning, you're strategizing, coming up with a plan here, Virgo, to literally use this sword and cut ties from that's no longer serving you, whether that be like a negative thought pattern for some Virgos. For other Virgos, you know, maybe this is you focusing on your diet. You know, there's something that's no longer serving you, and I definitely am sensing for some of you this is career related. For other Virgos, this is maybe like an unhealthy relationship or marriage. I think that you are planning on releasing yourself from this, or freeing yourself from this. I think you're spending a lot of time thinking about this. And I see, you know, ultimately you overcoming this. You're surrounded by this beautiful divine energy. You just have to remain positive, and you have to look to the future. You have to focus on the future, and also for some of you, finding that solution. Absolutely. I do see many of you quite confident. If you're a Virgo that is literally freeing yourself, I see many of you just very, very confident and sure of yourself here. And that could be why some of you are maybe spending this time alone. Maybe you just need to figure things out. You need to go within for some Virgos. For other Virgos, you could be speaking to an attorney. Absolutely. You could be speaking to an air sign person as well, maybe a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. But I see you feeling proud of yourself with the Six of Wands here, feeling quite confident, feeling proud of yourself for maybe taking these necessary steps for some Virgos. This is also victory, success. And I think that for some of you, I think that this is what you're waiting on, is this success, this ultimate victory. I think that this is what you're waiting on. With the Five of Pentacles diagonal here, I think that for some of you, maybe you're feeling a lack with the Five of Pentacles, a lack financially, or a lack. Maybe you're in a job that you're just not happy with. I think that for some of you, you're feeling some sort of lack. Or, you know, for some Virgos, you could even have like a lack of confidence here. And you know, I don't think that would be many of you, but if you're a Virgo that is lacking in the confidence department, I think that, you know, that's why we have the star here. You need to remain positive. You need to believe in yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Try to just remain positive. Only allow yourself to think positive thoughts, Virgo. Because I do have the Nine of Swords next to the Six of Wands on top of the Five of Pentacles, which is, you know, that mental energy in the mind. You could be fearing the worst or dealing with some anxiety, some stress, some worry. But, you know, I do see many of you that have been dealing with that, overcoming that with the Six of Wands here. And I see you actually coming through quite strong, focusing on freeing yourself. So again, I think I'm really talking to two groups of Virgos, the ones who are more optimistic this week and are, you know, they're finding a solution. You're finding a solution. You're really focused on moving forward and making some changes. But then I think there's a much smaller group of Virgos, percentage of Virgos, that, you know, maybe you're in the mind, you're fearing the worst, you're feeling a lack, and you need that confidence. You need to remain positive. You need to focus on, you know, unrestricting yourself with this energy here, Virgo. But overall, I see a lot of healing energy around you. With the Star and the Four of Swords here, I see a lot of you healing. And I think that, you know, a lot of you are going to be incredibly intuitive this week. If you feel as though you need to seek some sort of counsel or professional help, maybe even speaking to an attorney or contacting your attorney, definitely do that, Virgo. Let me pull you an additional guidance card. Virgo, additional guidance. Financially, I think it's going to be a great week for you, Virgo. You don't have any Cups cards. I think this is more about like mentally healing, moving towards peace of mind. Even though, you know, we do have the Star here, you know, there could be some Virgos that are a little bit more emotional. But I see you, you know, I see you being in a good place ultimately, or moving in that direction. Yeah, absolutely, with this energy. Additional guidance for Virgo. For some of you, there could be an air sign. There could be even a Capricorn or even an Aquarian who's very significant. I just pulled you 2 cards, Virgo. Okay. Look at this. Amazing. We have Omega, victory. Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. So now, Virgo, you have 2 cards of victory. 2 cards of victory. You just need to remain positive. You just need to believe. Virgo, this is what you're moving towards. Success, victory. Lovely. And we have Zena. You are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe, Virgo. This is, honestly, this is one of my favorite cards from this deck. I love this card. It's a beautiful confirmation that you are absolutely protected. Look at this divine energy you have around you this week, Virgo. This is beautiful. You are protected. The worst is now behind you. You need to relax and you need to feel safe. You are going to be successful, okay? You know, however you can relate to this, Virgo, you will, for those certain Virgos, you will free yourself, okay? So Virgo, I do hope that you found this reading helpful, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.